Happy Cozy Fest. I have the sweater. It's a gift from my mom. What can I say? Because moms do things like that. I'm going to read from my novel, Blue Hours, published by Freehand Books. It's a story of loss and very much a story of a father and son. And the father and son are on a road trip, and their camper van has broken down, and they've ended up in this little town. And I guess that would be the cozy part, would be the Saskatchewan summer. They get pretty cozy. And they've managed to borrow a tent from the mechanic. They'd never spent a night in a tent. Charlie was ready to bunk down right then, but the afternoon heat made the tent a greenhouse, and Keith suggested a walk into town instead of bedtime at midday. He said nothing about shopping, nothing about the restocking they needed to do. Let's see what's in this town. They set off. Town was a string of small stores, including the grocery market they'd have to visit, a restaurant, a hardware store, and, oh, what might add a whole other level to the day, a bakery. The window stopped Charlie, and the open door wafted vanilla, cinnamon, and who knew what. Cardamom, the man behind the counter said when he saw them sniffing. The abrupt change in momentum from traveling to not traveling had made Keith feel as if there was something he was supposed to be doing and it wasn't getting done. He wanted to ask the man how he lived in this small place, but his feeling wasn't about the place, it was the stopping of trajectory. The man behind the counter looked like he might be the baker too. He had the same look that Trev had at this point in the day, with flour in his hair and too many hours awake. Like Trev, this guy appeared to like his days, though. He was wearing an apron that made Keith smile. Here in this town, the size of a pancake and with the flatness of same, this man had some color, some life. The apron was a blown-up black and white photo of some showgirl from another era, neck down. The man was so patient as Charlie dithered. He asked Keith about their travels, and Keith explained about the van. The river campsite, he said. Oh, beautiful down there. Lucky yous. My husband and I go there sometimes to spend an evening. He'll catch river fish, and I'll make us a feast over a fire. How long have you lived here? Keith asked. I grew up here, some kind of quiet kid who always felt alone. Then I moved to NYC, worked in theater, loved the sweat, the backstage, the crazy times, but had to come home. Keith had to wrap his head around that. From New York City to a one-mechanic bump, little bakery on the prairie. He couldn't help his eyes dropping to the apron, and the man laughed. You had to come home? Keith wanted more of the man's story. Some mechanic Bill was mistaken. Some who left did return with courage. All the world's a stage. We're all living on the boards under the lights. There's nothing to say that we can't love all our places. Charlie had ventured to the end of the counter and slipped around the corner of it, so he wasn't having to look up and over at the man. He appeared to be entranced. The man put his hands on his hips and posed, apron swaying with him, all costume and cleavage. He put his hands in the air and twirled around, then back to the hips. What do you think, beautiful boy? He smiled down at Charlie, who stared at him a minute, and then put his own hands in the air and twirled too, almost falling over. The two men laughed, and Charlie giggled as the baker clapped. Bravo! I like the shiny things on your apron, said Charlie. Sequins, aren't they something? This town needs you, said Keith. Oh, I'm in the mission field making believers. Really, I came back for the quiet kids who are tired of feeling alone. They need to see me here. They need to know you can leave, you can come back, you can do whatever you want. Keith put out his hand. I'm Keith from Vancouver. This is Charlie. Derry's my name. He shook Keith's, then Charlie's. Then he withdrew a plate of tarts from the display case. I'll bet you'd like a few of these. The Queen of Hearts is nothing on us. He glanced at Keith for his okay. 4 for the price of 3, he said enticingly. We always used to get 3, said Charlie, studying the offerings. But my mom died. Derry didn't miss a beat. I'm sorry to hear that. He pointed to a heart-shaped beauty. You could have one of those and leave it in a special place to remember your mom, or eat it with your dad and share a favorite mom memory. You could call it a mommery, maybe. He made a sudden motion and placed that one in the box. That one's on me. You choose 4 more. He didn't rush Charlie, who, after a moment and a whispered thank you, took his time pointing out his 4, changing his mind several times about the last choice. That one looks like a cheesecake. Derry pushed and pulled a cardboard shape to create a box from tabs and cutouts. Charlie was pleased when the box was together with a cellophane window and handle. Derry wrapped a red bow on the handle and held it out for Charlie to take. You know, if you go to the far end of the street and find the footpath to your right, you'll have a much prettier return to the river. That sounds good, said Keith. When they were about to go out the door, Derry called out, Wait a minute, someone left behind a book. Maybe you can take care of it. He held out a picture book with worn edges. Tarts go well with books and books with tarts. Charlie's happiness was complete. It might be a good time to interject the looming food gathering. We have to explore the grocery store. We can't live on tarts, Keith said. Oh, you could live on tarts, corrected Derry. But what would you feed your dog under the table? Happy Cozy Fest reading.